Good day, everyone. I'd like to talk about what is your Saturn story, otherwise known as what is your Saturn trying to teach you this lifetime? Where is Saturn in your natal chart? Do you have Saturn conjunct the ascendant or in the first house? Do you have it on the IC or in the fourth house or on your descendant angle or in your seventh or in your midheaven or 10th? Have you experienced your first Saturn return, age 27, 28, 29? Or have you had your second Saturn return? Now listen, I'll be the first person to tell you that Saturn can be a bitch. Because Saturn asks us to get off of our asses. It's true. And go for it. Saturn says, listen, what do you want in life? What's important to you? Well, do you think it's going to come easy? Saturn is not here to tell us things come easy. Saturn is not going to roll out the red carpet. At least my experience with Saturn has been that way. Saturn is here to test us, to challenge us, to make us take a good look at ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves, what is preventing us? What is challenging us right now in life? What is an obstacle that we're not able to process yet? What are the rocks on the road that we have to kick to the curb? Without Saturn, we would never get anything accomplished big in this world. We need Saturn. And in order to need Saturn, we have to understand Saturn. And most of us don't understand Saturn. So, Saturn asks us to be committed, to be serious, and to do the work. And when we're not doing those things, the shit can sometimes hit the fan. Nobody here has a bad Saturn. Okay? Saturn is not bad. Saturn is here to teach us that we have to overcome obstacles in life and that life is not easy, and are we willing to do it? Really, that's the message of Saturn. Now, you deep dive even further to understand Saturn based on sign and house placement. So if you were born with Saturn in the first house, Saturn conjunct the ascendant, or Saturn in Aries, your challenges, your obstacles, where you need to show up is with yourself. You, your personality, your physicality. That can be a lot of pressure. You can feel like perhaps you have to be perfect. You can feel like, damn, I'm always having to work on myself, or damn, life isn't easy and this is kind of a bitch. To have Saturn on the ascendant or first house would not be an easy energy, folks. And so you got to do the work on yourself to work with Saturn. What if you have Saturn in the second house or Taurus? Your challenges are going to be around money, material wealth, sensuality, your throat, your voice. Your challenges could be with Taurus people, places, and things. What about if you have Saturn in the third house or in Gemini? Your challenges could be around communications. You may find you hit a brick wall in the way you communicate, and that's one of the things you're here to work on, is your communication skills. Are you a good listener? Are you a good writer? Are you a good teacher? Are you a good speaker? Do you work in communications? You could. You could find your challenges come around communications, around Gemini people, places, things, anything to do with Gemini. If you have Saturn conjunct the IC or in the 4th house or in Cancer, your challenges could be in the home, in the family life. Family life growing up may have not been easy. You may have felt like you were the damn parent when you were just a little kid trying to go get some ice cream down the street, and you couldn't even do that because you had too many chores and responsibilities in the home. A lot of time people with this placement, Saturn in the 4th IC or Cancer, you feel like you were the parent. You had to be the parent. You didn't get to have fun. And so you're here to work on that story. And you're here to work on having fun. You're here to work on having nurturing. You may have to work harder at it than others to feel nurtured, to feel loved, to feel like you have a family. But that is part of the storyline. I have this. I know this energy. I've talked about Saturn conjunct the IC before. I was the youngest, and yet I was the most mature and the most responsible in my family growing up, early years. That's Saturn conjunct the IC. There was always chores, there was always tasks. It was never easy. Other kids would be playing. I'd be like, I can't, I've got work to do. Now, let me tell you, looking back, now that I'm more mature, I'm glad I had chores to do because it made me the person I am. I'm glad that I had and was taught responsibility. Now, what if you have Saturn in Leo or Saturn in the 5th? Your challenges could be around Leo people, places, and things. It could be around fun, entertainment, the spotlight. You could want to be in the spotlight so badly. You will do anything to overcome any obstacle that gets in your way. Okay? That's the energy of Saturn in the 5th or Saturn in Leo. You could feel challenged by Leo people, places, and things. You could be challenged by anything that represents Leo or 5th house. What about Saturn in the 6th or Virgo? You are challenged. You're here to work on your health. You're here to work on being of service to other people. You know, Mother Teresa was a Virgo. She was selfless. She was of service to humanity. That's the energy of Saturn in the 6th or Saturn in Virgo. It's being selfless. It's being of service. It's volunteering. It's giving the shirt off your back to other people. It's also about working on your health. You may find your biggest challenges have been around your health, around your life, your routine, cleanliness, organization. What about Saturn conjunct the descendant, or Saturn in the 7th, or Saturn in Libra? It's all about working on your relationships. You could find you want to be married more than anything else, and yet you have to damn work at it, and you just like go, damn it, it's not easy. You could be drawn to partners that are very Saturnian, could be older, could be more mature, could be well established. You could be drawn to older partners. Older partners could be drawn to you. You could only want committed relationships. Being in love affairs, being in triangles may not work for you with Saturn in this placement. The 7th, Saturn in Libra, or Saturn conjunct the descendant. This is the relationship energy. Saturn's there. Saturn's challenging you here. What about Saturn in the 8th or Scorpio? What's that energy? You are here to work on. You are here to work on scorpionic, 8th house energies. You could be challenged by Scorpio people this lifetime. You could be challenged by people in power. You could find you get yourself into power struggles. You could find you have to overcome power struggles. You could find you have to overcome triangular love affairs. You could be madly in love with someone, but they're taken. And that's your challenge that you're working on, how to best manage Saturn in the 8th. Saturn rules other people's money in the 8th house. It's all about other people's money, banks, getting loans, getting credit, taxes, IRS, death, transformation. You could be challenged. You could find you're always challenged to change, to transform. It's a heavy hitting energy. What about if you have Saturn in the 9th house or Sagittarius? You're challenged to perhaps go back to school. You're challenged maybe to be a medical doctor. You're challenged to be a lawyer. Your challenge is to overcome obstacles to you succeeding in more education if you want it. You could be challenged to travel the world. You could be challenged to learn new languages. You could be challenged to be bilingual. You could be challenged internationally. You could be challenged around anything that Sagittarius represents to you. You could say, hey, to hell with everybody. I'm taking off. I'm going to travel the world. Okay? Driven to succeed. Saturn, again, is where we can be challenged, where things may not come easy for us. Not saying that, oh God, you got Saturn there. Oh my God, it's so difficult. It's just never going to end. I'm not saying that, because you have to look at a whole chart. I look at an entire chart before I even discuss readings with most people. Because I can't say, this is a general recording, I guess is what I'm trying to say. There's always exceptions to the rule. So anyway, what if you have Saturn conjunct your midheaven, or Saturn in Capricorn, or Saturn in the 10th? Well, this is where Saturn loves. Saturn is the modern day ruler of Capricorn. It's a strong energy here to be something, to be somebody in your career, in your reputation. It is important for you to overcome all your challenges. Saturn in Capricorn doesn't mess around. They are like, I've got shit to do and I'm going to do it. Get out of my way. Saturn in Capricorn usually is very honest and ethical and has morals and values. And that is something that they are working on, that's important to them, where they will get tested. What about Saturn in Aquarius at the 11th? Well, this is like, we're now in to challenges around groups, challenges in a humanitarian way. You could find you are challenged, and things that have to do with humanitarian causes and the betterment of society and the collective are where your challenges are. They could be challenged in Aquarian energies, Aquarius people, places, things, Aquarius behaviors could challenge you. You may work in an Aquarianistic way. What about Saturn in the 12th house or Pisces? You are challenged by secrets. You're challenged, and you are here to work on your spirituality, your creative expression, your openness. You're challenged here to bring light into the darkness. The 12th house is the hidden house. This is the Pisces house. This is the ruler is Neptune. You're challenged here to not run when things get tough. You are here to show up and address anything that gets in your path where you really would like to escape from. So, Saturn, again, we all have Saturn in a sign and a house and an angle. Saturn is here to teach us. Saturn is not here to make it easy and roll out the red carpet, as I mentioned. Saturn is where we can feel challenged, where we feel like, God darn it, here we go again. I got to work on this. And so if you work with your Saturn and you do your Saturn, you may find dealing with his energy easier. When you have your first Saturn return, you're going to know it. Most people that have had their first Saturn return have had major life changes happen. You have to experience it for yourself. Everybody's first Saturn return is different. When your natal Saturn lines up with the transiting Saturn, same sign, house, placement, and angle. Same thing goes for your second Saturn return. Many of you have Saturn aspecting other planets. Maybe you have Saturn conjunct the Sun or the Moon or Mercury or Venus or Mars or Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Or maybe Saturn is training your Sun or your Moon or Mercury. Or maybe Saturn is opposing your Sun or Saturn is opposing your Neptune. There's other things to follow and understand in Saturn. But if you don't understand the basics of your Saturn, you're never going to understand what the oppositions mean, what the conjunctions mean, what the trines mean. You need to understand the basics first of your natal Saturn before you really get into understanding all the rest, in my opinion. Because I think we make our chart a lot more complicated than it needs to be. And many of us are focused on things in our chart really that don't really matter that much. Knowing what Saturn is up to is important to pay attention to. And that's why I wanted to talk more thoroughly about Saturn here. Find out where is your natal Saturn by house, sign, angle, placement, and get familiar with it. And then take it from there. I love all of you. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.